So as I grew up in Japan, although there's no such thing Japanese astrology, like each civilization the area has their own astrologies. For example, India has its own system called Vedic, a sidereal system, more based on the moon, and the Western is emphasis on the sun, right? So the horoscope is a sun based in the Western. But that the horo means that doesn't necessarily the sun base, but Western is follow more the sun deity versus I'm making very simplistic, but Hindu follow the moon based on the moon. So they have a 13 mansion based on the moon. The zodiac system is based on solar system or sun, okay? The Western culture really came through in Japan. So I knew horoscope as a sun-based, horoscope in the back of the magazine, right? They show you the prediction of the month. And, as much as I enjoy, but I had a doubt as well because I was born on cusp. So I could be Scorpio one day, and it based on which one I read. I'm Sagittarius for this one. So I usually read both and I pick the one that better for me. I had a choice, but also I kind of wonder. That means, is it just every being in this, million gazillion people, we only have a subtype of 12? That's kind of quite boring, isn't it? And then I know that's not true. So, these are some mystical things here, but something I had some doubt about, I'm not sure about this, right? And everybody probably had those moments. Some people religiously follow, some people, all right. Now, later, this is happened to me much later in my life. My dream is actually totally influenced by this report produced by Laura Walker. She's incredibly brilliant, beyond astrologer. It's very esoteric teaching, but not every single time. But my dream is basically her reading. This is like a little creepy, right? Am I influenced by the heaven totally? I need to understand a little bit more about astrology. And many of my friends are already into astrology and telling me all about the Saturn return. Oh, you experienced a black moon, And I just wanted to understand where it was coming from. So this is the main reason I started to reading her reading, and it didn't understand anything. Because her reading is even beyond traditional astrology. Okay. However, that didn't really stop me from learning. I had an infinite amount of time. So I studied like a crazy, and I soon realized how our heaven, star, planet influences our thoughts, our health, our behavior. That's our fate and destiny. Okay, so this is how I met astrology. So what is astrology? Astrology and astronomy, actually you cannot separate those two. In brief, astronomy is a study of the movement of stars and planets. Astrology is a study of how these movements influence our life, our energy, and life, and then how we or he or she experience life. Since in ancient times and early civilization include astronomy and astrology as one. This is not surprising, as the ancients did not separate science from spirituality either. This is a very recent things. It decided, spirituality and science doesn't go together. Okay. Why? Why astrology? Why we need to learn? Because you will gain deep understanding of golden age, right? How those people know now we enter golden age? You just believe it because so many people say it, or do you really want to understand where they're coming from? Lionsgate. So many people ask, what is Lionsgate, right? Don't you want to understand the significance of celestial events? Equinox, solstice, Lionsgate. You will innately understand the significance of those events. Who you are, right? Who am I? That's a very important question you should be asking every single moment. Why you are here? A kind of follow to that, or vice versa, right? Because if you really understand who you are, you will understand why you're here, right? Why you interpret, perceive. So why or how you interpret events and how you perceive others, right? Those are also included in your birth chart, as well as the following: your relationship with the loved one, the parents, the spouse, your children, if you have a pet, whoever you interact on a daily basis. Also your health, and that's your destination or your destiny, okay? Applications of astrology. This can be used as life map of soul, right? Tool to learn who you are, as well as learn about others. Because you can learn about yourself from others, right? You could gain ability to link macrocosmos and microcosmos. And you understand how interconnected. Just like my dream was directly linked to, so just to the outside of the heaven happening, I'm definitely very much influenced, very sensitive or receptive to that. That is also showing my birth chart. And you will soon understand yours as well. Now, this is not all. Please chime in if you want to add to this list or have any question. All right. Jill?
Yes. Yeah.
I thought you were going to have a question because you...
No, I just unmuted.
Okay. All right. So silence means... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nothing. I figured you'd think that when I unmuted.
Were you eating when you're speaking? I couldn't hear, but...
Me?
All right. Silence means, to me, it's either you're not interested in, or you don't have a question, or you already know this subject. So I'm going to proceed.
In my case,
Okay.
I'm not carefully listening.
I love your comments on it, truly. I really mean it. So thank you. All right. Birth chart, right, is a blueprint of the energies. Okay. Birth chart is a blueprint of the energies. Since the energy is everything, it is a very important chart. It is a thought to be your core magnetic field. Okay, this is your core magnetic field. What does it mean? It's plotting at the energy, blueprint of your energy, and a core magnetic field. Electromagnetic field. A lot of time people talk about law of attraction, karma, attachment. It is all related to your energy and your magnetic field. Okay, and then this is the blueprint of who you are, at least when you're at the birth time, and this is your essence that follows through entire this lifetime. Okay, that doesn't mean this is you entirely, but it's an important energy field that you need to understand. Anybody has a question here?
I have a question.
Yes.
So the magnetic field and the two keywords here, the magnetic field.
Yeah.
And that's influenced by the karma or the attachments?
It's more like the other way around, but yes. So I think, did you hear her question?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So that what is karma? What is attachment? it's about your inner, if you understand heard about law of attraction, right? The law of attraction is the main teaching is focused on energy, right? The vibration. What they kind of left out is a magnetic field. So first they start with the thoughts. So more that you focus on the thought, either like or dislike, it is the same registry. So you'll continue to attract those events or people or experience. It's an experience. So face is different, but same thing will happen as long as you're in a vibration. However, let's say you already forgive, detach, right? I will let it go. I will let it go. I no longer have any type of thought process that attached to that. So you would think you shouldn't have a similar experience again. But oftentimes it does. And it caught it by surprise, almost somebody hit from the back or like a splash on a face. I thought I already forgive this. I thought I already get rid of my attachment. Sometimes often those teachers won't tell you there is a magnetic field. Magnetic field will stay far longer after your energy leave. Far longer. Sometimes years, if you're not aware of it. Okay?
So how do we change that?
Well, that's a very good question. But now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know. See, those are teachings they don't tell you because I'm not sure. Sometimes they don't know, maybe, or sometimes they purposely, intentionally left out. Because if I tell you this, very few people come back to me and learn, right? I mean, some people say, this is the only thing you need to do. People like that. 3-step is much better than 12-step. Is that true? Hey, you want to get it over yesterday?
Yeah.
Why I have to
It's human.
potentially suffer years to come? Some people say, well, looks like you're going to have it for next Saturn return, which is a Saturn return every 36 years. Who wants to deal with that? So they will find a shortcut. And unfortunately, there's no shortcut. More we do shortcut, more disappointment. You actually digress because you start to doubt yourself, right? So it's always best to teach, even though it's not so great news, teach the right thing first. Now, some teachers may be smart. They tell you one thing, and then once they come back with a question, hey, it didn't work for me, maybe they give you a second these things. Because some people are, if you see the birth chart too, very electrically oriented. For those, it works, right? Thought process alone works, mostly.
How can you
But a lot of time, I'm sorry, go ahead.
tell it from a birth chart if it's more electric or more magnetic in general, not in specifics?
Yeah, you could tell based on certain planets in aware. And that's again advanced. But if you understand that each components well, it will become like aha moment later, right? Because if I teach you now, okay, you're gonna memorize that part, and then that's not gonna make sense later. Do you understand? But there's a certain planets are more magnetic, certain planet are more electric, and a certain house where the position will enhance the property. So I will tell you my husband's chart. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a time. However, I know the relationship with each planet, right? I don't know the house, how he gonna experience which life, but I know the relationship doesn't change inside. I know he's Mars and the Sun and Uranus is the fierce position. All those planets energy are very electric. So to him, thought alone could shift his life. Right? And then he happened to be masculine, so that works well for him. Sometimes unfortunate combination happens, right? Very magnetic chart, but this is men. Almost always very awkward situation in life from the beginning to the end, just because the kind of society we are in. right? That doesn't necessarily he has to suffer. No, he may actively seek. He must actively seek very unusual community. Then he will shine, or he must create that community himself, right? But if you don't, just stay in this system and just as a people, will continuously suffer, right? So that was, I gave you very extreme, right? Most people somewhere in between, a slightly more magnetic, slightly more electric, okay? All right. Everyone has their own chart, and not every single chart is very different, just like a snowflake. Even if you're born in exactly same time, exactly same day, and maybe a couple town difference, still very different. Just several miles, 20 miles, 15 miles that make a huge difference.
Wow.
So you have an astral twin, still very different life experience. All right. So the moment, right? Your first breath. Okay, that first breath you take, and then when your umbilical cord is cut, that is the time this imprint go into your body. You're biologically imprinted. Obviously, when. So if in the ancient time, in the important people, astrologer was always at the birth scene. They monitor at which day as much as they can, and in the delivery time, umbilical cord could be intact for 3 days without any issue. So they do not cut right away. No, astrologer has to be there, and the moment he strike, the doctor cut. So you could finely tune your life, obviously by parents. So those that often happen royalty, the kingship, queenship, right? Because they have a very important mission, right? This needed to be king or this needed to be queen, need to be carried out certain mission. So their birth chart is planned to the 10th house is very important. 11, 12 is also important. They don't really care about the personal point. They align the key planets, exactly which point, right? So that's how much belief system we're in. And I don't think most of us did that. So pretty much you came out umbilical cord being cut. Correct?
Hello.
I think so.
Yeah, somebody hit your butt so you could breathe or take a first breath without your choice. You could have a choice when you take your first breath. Maybe you are smart. You wanted to wait 2 more hours because you could change your life experience. No, your butt got hit. You almost felt like you're dying. And umbilical cord was like, whoosh. Well, welcome to this world.
Someone is born naturally versus if they induce labor.
Yes.
So that has a bad
That's a
effect.
huge difference. Now, so some people being cut, right? Planned and cut it open. Yeah. There's a lot of different implications. So they have a whole thesis, a whole thoughts in the theory for astrology. What happened if it's been, open for planned, and there's all the theory. However, whatever the recorded time, we're gonna go with it. Okay, unless you have a more concrete evidence at which point you came into this world. Yeah. Okay. Still not figuring out how to. Okay. Yeah, Lona is here.
I'm here.
Lona, do you have a question?
No, I just wanted to. I think it's kind of answered. Like, can we change things?
Oh, yes, absolutely. But unless we understand, we can change. I mean, I shouldn't say that. More we understand, we could go beyond. This isn't my whole goal here. Is not to not to map your journey based on this, understand it firmly. So you could take this as a more advantage rather than disadvantage. And even better, go beyond. Go beyond. And I will tell you, you could go beyond this. And I hope I have a chance to talk about where the whole these things started. And we have to go even far back than the ancient time to truly understand our blueprint. True blueprint are much bigger than this. But since most of us can't even understand the current system, we have to start from somewhere, right? We are such under the illusion and programmed, brainwashed. We have to go beyond this first. All right, the birth chart show the basic pattern of your life. Birth chart depicts his or her potentials and tendency, which is attachments. So this is a very important comment I want you to really put in your brain, okay? Very important. Man is not what he is because he was born when he was. He was born when he was because he was potentially what he is. Okay? So it is important. Well, what happened to those times that your birth was planned, right? Well, because it's not planned by haphazardly, in a sense, you planned it.
Yeah.
Okay? So you are, at this point, you are more the driver's seat than being in the back of the bus. Very important.
It just kind of tells us how powerful we are.
Absolutely.
We are not victims here.
No.
Well,
That's
I'm
why
sorry, I missed that. What was said?
The Skaya?
I think it was.
Basically, yes. So what she said, just tells us how powerful we are, and we are no longer a victim by having this, the thought process, right? Thank you for that. Okay, let's have a fun.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
You know, one of the things is there like a chart that how each planet looks? Because every time I have to keep flipping back the page to see what does it look, which one.
Yeah, yes, yeah. We're gonna do that.
And then I lose train of thought.
Yes, I know.
That's the problem I had in the first class.
Okay, well, you know what? So let's just leave this out. That's the one assigned.
Maybe you can memorize this.
No, don't worry. We are giving you all the choice, but okay. It's okay you don't understand this, but I show you something here, okay? I look at this, I have to laugh. Because it's so him. Oh my goodness, yes, so him. And just mentally, right? Mentally, Lucia, you could have that. Oh, okay, sure, go ahead. So mentally notice this, okay? Just geometric form. It looks like almost all the planet in this side on the left. You understand? Yeah. Lucky him. And significant conflict on the house 10 and 4, the top and bottom. Yeah. Do you see that? Sun Uranus conjunct, which is oh my God, that's like a powerful combination. He even can control himself.
Who's this?
Donald Trump.
Oh.
Where? Oh, duh.
I thought that's why.
Glasses.
Oh my God! I thought that's why you are excited, Sky, and this is your favorite person.
I don't want to get political.
I know, but
I want to be non-judgmental.
I understand, but I laugh very hard. And good for him. Most of the planet is on the left side. That means he has much of the free will. Okay, he basically do whatever he wants without others. That's what this chart say, without going too far. However, it's a little unfortunate thing here that I could see this being with this kind of a chart had a lot of problem. It was Mars on the ascendant line. It's a fierce, like Mars or the war of God, okay? Oftentimes, this is in a subconscious realm. It's very dangerous. He doesn't even know the impulse where they're coming from, okay? And then the Uranus and Sun, absolutely no idea, right? You know, his essence is totally charged beyond his control. However, this is a very good if he become politician or the show business, because in the 10th house of the career, it's going through the Taurus, but Gemini, okay, those are Taurus is kind of Wall Street mental, you know, Taurus is very feminine, but however, wants to bring something valuable, right, to the owner, to the person, to yourself. But Gemini, the kind of the sign that you could talk to anyone, very smart, very intellectual. So you can talk to anyone, but not too long. Not like a lecture, okay? You could talk to this, talk to that, talk to this.
All of him?
That's it. That's this guy. Okay. So hold that thought. There's a more, but I'm not gonna go into. Now, the Marilyn Monroe on the right.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
It's very interesting because there's some similarity. But okay, let's talk about this first chart. You see, first of all, it's very different.
Yeah.
Very different, right? And a fate is earmarked in tendencies. Okay, fate is earmarked in tendency, not in facts. What you see in birth chart is a tendency that will become the fate if one does not do something to change them. So here you go, Lona. Your question is correct. You become your fate. You become your destiny if you don't do anything. If you just wake up in the morning and listen to the radio, watch the television, and talk to the same people, stay in the same job without any questioning, you were just going to follow what this was a plan for you. You could say you picked, yeah, but you will be blindly just going through this life as what the heaven and planet says.
Now, is there a difference between, like, there's a lot of red and blue, but I
Absolutely.
see green and black?
Absolutely.
Mine only has red and blue.
Oh, that's okay. Because I didn't put the sextile. That's my more minor angle. Yeah. Now that's not black, actually brown. That's what whatever astrologer pick on purpose to want to say certain thing about Marilyn Monroe. Okay, so we could all change that. Yeah, but a minor line though. The big one you want to have on your chart is a red, is a blue. Yeah, those are important. Okay, what do you see?
Lots of triangles and Marilyn Monroe has
Yes.
it in all the quadrants.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Mm-hmm. The planets are in
Up and
all.
down. She's
Okay.
got stuff up and down as well. I mean, about the horizontal line.
Yeah.
The AC/DC line.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's also the very unfortunate things for this being, because, however, she could have a complete change. Do you see the big triangle downward in a red?
The orange.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you see the trine, the beautiful trine in the center? She could choose that tendency, but she picked the bottom.
This trine and center.
Oh, the triangle, this one versus this one.
The red versus the blue.
Red versus blue. Yeah,
She chose the red.
she chose definitely red. So, however, I show you that something interesting. Look at the sun. Sun is a double circle, big circle and then tiny circle in the middle. You see the top.
With the
12.
red squares.
Yeah, the 10th house. House 10, which is the 12 o'clock and o'clock. You see that both Trump, Marilyn, has a sun in the house 10. So that means they're going to shine in public. with a tendency to shine in public. Both did. Interesting. What is the sign next to it? Both are Gemini. Both are very intelligent. Marilyn was a super intelligent person. She was very intelligent. She was able to talk in a party, anyone she met. Intelligent conversation. Not too long. Which is not so much fact that no. Gemini is the one. Gemini is next to Taurus, the orange one, the near the sun. That's it. Yes, that's that. That's a Gemini. So here are the tendencies. Now, she could completely become a different person if she consciously choose that center triangle. But if you could see that ascendant and descendant is such a powerful force, so Neptune and Moon and Jupiter really pulled her. And the Saturn is a center. Saturn is the one, the controller. So the Neptune in a one is very difficult because she's constantly dreaming an illusion. It's something wonderful must happen, and everything she was hoping for her marriage, husband, okay, discharge. Every hope and wishes, happiness was directly connected to partner, who she going to marry with. And it will never be satisfied because Neptune in this person's house one. Neptune is next, say, ascendant line, and that means could go both way. But as long as she connect that hope and dream and desire to marriage, she's a big red line, will constantly fail and then go downward, right?
Yeah, she got in a lot of bad relationships. 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, I don't think any of the marriage went well.
And then she ended up having an affair with JFK.
Yeah.
She was married to DiMaggio.
Right. It's all the fantasy that she wanted to fulfill. She put everything in a marriage, everything. She had a very tough home because it's a Saturn, huge red going through that, and that means she didn't have a very good home. Okay, so her wish is that her homemaking was the paramount to her. But the kind of person she was in such a public figure, that's a huge conflict. This is bound to be miserable, terrible life, never satisfied. However, it doesn't need to be that way. If she followed this blue, that was a rescue, would be completely different. She probably, if she didn't die when she did, she's gonna become incredible transformation spiritual person. That's another chart. That's another potential. Yes. So interesting that.
Yeah, she was killed because of JFK.
Yes. Yes. That is a theory too. Now, if you look at the Saturn is retrograding for her, and you see the many forces going to Saturn. For her case, Saturn control her chart. When Saturn return, when she is 36, her life is going to be reviewed completely. She had a chance. She could go beyond her chart, or she going to stay in a fate. How old was she when she was died or killed?
Well, early 30s.
36.
The year of the Saturn return.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
There's another person died in 36, Prince Diana.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't check her chart.
This is what they say in Vedic astrology in India.
Yes.
A lot of people die when the Saturn returns.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, the Burdick is very, very focused on Moon, Saturn, and the karma. Okay.
So it's a 36-year review when Saturn returns.
Yes, Saturn come back, but depending on your chart, it's different. Okay.
Yeah, do you have like a chart with Saturn? How does Saturn look?
Oh, Saturn is right there. Are we gonna go over?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a this is a chat. So and then also yeah, thank you. You printed out. There's a reference material you went through. You have all that, and we're gonna need that to do some exercise today. If you haven't printed out, it's
in
okay.
printed color though.
Oh, Ben, I didn't get this.
Yes, I send it to you. Because
You know?
for those,
This morning?
yeah, for those who register late, I only could send it once to confirm you're coming because, but it's in your mailbox. Don't worry about it, okay?
I would need your help because I printed this one.
Okay, all right. And then again, you don't need to print it out. As long as you have it in your file, you could access it, that's okay. A lot of us like to look at it and on a paper and write it down. So I gave you a choice. I try not to produce a paper. So this is what I'm trying to do, not to print out, many things. All right, destiny. We talk about our natal chart showcases that landscape of a magnetic energy field at birth. This magnetic field will direct to guide us throughout our lives. This also shows our characters and our attachments. Some astrology teacher says character is destiny. You just think about that. Character is destiny. I will say it again because it's important. Character is destiny. Because a lot of us don't think this way. I'm like, oh, that's my character. Oh, that's going to develop your character. We just throw this character word around without truly understanding what is character. Character is attitude. Your attitude toward a life and event, and then also it shows your behavior. Right? If you really think about character, what is character? Its character is huge. And eventually that will define where you end up ending up with in life. Can we change our characters for better destinies? Can we?
Sure.
So
I think so.
you think so?
Yeah.
Which is your attitude and behaviors. Your attitude and behavior. Okay. If we set our way, right? Oftentimes we say, oh, it's getting old age and setting our way, setting his way, right? We know those people, yeah? They do exactly same thing on the same day.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Some people really believe that, right? And then also attitude, that's huge too. Our attitude toward our life or things. Our attitude. It's not as easy as we think to change completely or change even a little bit. First of all, we need to know our attitude. Sometimes it's difficult to see our attitude until somebody look at me like, are you like an alien or are you like a... What are they looking at me like that? Is it, it's because of my attitude, right? Or behavior. How do you see yourself? Can you catch your behavior?
Yeah.
Behavior, right? Your behavior, your attitude. Usually you could almost certainly find out your attachment and attitude behavior, the area that you're not very happy with or suffering, that is your character, your attitude and behavior. Okay. Every time you feel stuck, that is based on your character, nothing else. I will tell you that again and again. Because the very same thing happened to other, it won't make it be suffering or event. We see exactly same event exposed to it with a billion different reaction from it or responses from it. So I have my own suffering, I have my own pain, but this one is mine, not necessarily others gonna feel the same because it's based on my character, the characteristics. Depend on your level of awareness and openness to accept it or not. Because unless you accept it, you cannot change it. First, you need to aware, and the level of awareness is infinite. Okay, there's not enough point that you could aware. There's a onion peeling, yeah, but it's more fun. Once more and more you're aware, more and more you understand the interconnectedness. Now, accept is hard.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're gonna be, shaking hand with ego. You're gonna be taking the, same bath with your ego. It's not easy. That's tough. And a lot of courage. It's a lot of courage. You need a lot of courage, forgiveness, and lovingness to yourself. You gotta do this in a very gentle way. And only when you may have an opportunity to shift, a change. Still, that doesn't need necessarily going to change, though.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. This is actually quite hard.
So can we change? Can I use the word perspective? Is it synonymous with attitude?
Perspective, attitude.
Because perspective is influenced by your level of awareness, definitely, where you are in your spiritual growth.
Okay. Well, if that works, go with it until it won't work. Right? That's what I say. Do whatever you need to do until you won't work anymore, and then switch. Because I don't want to really argue with the semantic, If
I
that's
just want to know if that's the same, kind of.
Your attitude, your perspective. To me, attitude is more sticky. Perspective is more, could be intellectual understanding. Attitude to me is going with the actual action.
Action, you're right.
Yeah. Perspective could be more mental field. But whatever you affect,
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. You're more intellectual, so maybe, you like a perspective better.
No, I think attitude, because it has a component of action.
Well, thank you for that. I never thought about too deeply, but thank you for bringing me additional awareness there. Soul purpose or soul purposes. Astrology chart can't show you soul purposes. I will emphasize purposes because you have many that you don't even know of. So many soul purposes. There are different soul purposes, okay? One is in particular a key to learn is your overarching purpose here on earth. So I could tell you have a lot of soul purpose as a collective, beyond humanity, for Gaia, elsewhere. But most important thing, you live here now on earth in this lifetime. I want you to understand what is your soul purpose here and now. Why you came here. Right? And what is the overarching purpose? Because there's a laundry list of the purposes and agreements you those are usually automatically you're doing day-to-day basis. But what is your overarching purpose here on earth? Okay. Let's understand the bigger picture here. So the rest will follow, right? We sometimes end up with really caught up with a tiny list. I do. Oh my God, I had to clean this and that, and I'm gonna pick her up here. I gotta plan for this. Oh my, it's looking at it, I'm like, my life cannot be this. And in the meantime, the laundry beep. Oh, I gotta go there. I forget everything. Yeah. I come back. I know I had things to do. Let's have a cup of tea first. Oh, shoot, it's 3 p.m. Meditation will be good to the next order. Well, anyway, that's a lucky day. All right. To incorporate this idea or lesson, we will invite Chinese astrology that has been well integrated into Western astrology for years. So the Chinese astrology emphasis again slightly different angle, right? Like Skanya said, verdict, Vedic, has an emphasis on definitely teaching a lesson. Saturn and the moon is very important, right? Because of different emphasis in life. But Chinese, it has not necessarily just astrology. They have own teaching of the soul journey as more macro perspective. So actually that's also the Hindu too. Our life here it's just like a tiny section of overarching things, just like a river. We are just standing right this point of intersection, but our soul is continuous, right? So they have the things called the dragon heads and tail analogy. So we have incorporated that Western astrology because it is a good way to grasp on in this lifetime. This is the things you need most. This is what you need to learn in this lifetime because you did so good in this lifetime, this area. Now this is a subject. Okay. So that teaching, it kind of bodes very well with the Western. So they just took the section of it and pop right onto your chart. All right. So we're going to incorporate that because since such a belief system built in, looks like it's a work for every single being so far. So you're going to learn that. Do you feel that you may have a soul purpose in this lifetime? Kind of like to ask you, do you feel you have a life purpose? Sometime, okay.
Sometimes you feel on point, sometimes you're just
And sometimes you feel like you have a purpose, but you don't have any idea what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So generally, yes, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. That's good because your chart actually already say a lot of things. So self-knowingness, so I am. Okay. First part of astrology depends on your memory. So we're going to have a lot of memorization. I will try to help you as much as I can so you could remember more firm way, not just try to memorize, okay? That's why I'm going to help you today. Beyond memory, once you understand, you remember, you may want to meditate on them so you may experience the energy in deeper meaning. Because you actually know all these things, actually. You kind of forgotten a little bit. So once it's a part of your mind, you may reach to the field, okay, which is a super consciousness where direct knowledge by source is available. And then I experienced this many times. I cannot say I could do this at will, but once I do focus in a field, it actually available, those teaching, it come to me and come in during a meditation or in a dream. And I know it's not dream because I remember so clearly and as if I'm there. And it usually happen in a particular time of the dream, right before I wake up or the end of my dream cycle. And I know it was given the specific message because that was my question. I was asking consistently before I go to bed. And I know I'm going to receive it in a dream form. And interestingly, almost always coming from higher realm, there's no word. They don't speak English. Yeah. And then but I do understand telepathically, and usually they show me. Because I'm very visually oriented, I tend to see more than feel, energetically feeling. So I think that's the way they communicate through me. But each and every one of you have access and ability to do it.
When you say I am, do you mean past lives or purpose in life?
Oh, I am is business, so it's all.
Both. Right?
It's everything. Again, time is an illusion. Remember, Rona?
Yeah. True.
Although it's not completely illusion because it exists. Time, again, I just gonna say that your answer to your question is yes. If that's your question you want to ask to source, yes, they will give it to you. I received in a many different form my past, but then at this point, no longer a benefit to me to know more about my past. So I'm not asking the question, but I was asking question how the universe was formed. The very, how the whole these things happen, our spirit. And that's let's say, gave me a message how it created. So that was good enough for me.
Oh, okay.
So be mindful what question you're going to ask, because sometimes will make you much lower vibration. Make sure question is a power. Power is in question.
Okay.
And if it's not a good question and you're asking to a higher source, they won't give it to you because they know it won't serve you well. So don't be disappointed if you don't receive it. I'll be better off. That's a good question. Thank you. Hello, helicopter. All right. Traditional astrology. I will cover the traditional one first, okay? Because there are permutation of everything available, and it just confuse you first. But I want you to have a essence, a core foundation. All right. So Western astrology, which is based on tropical zodiac, and give you the Hindu is a sidereal, two different things. Tropical zodiac is Earth-based, okay, which is used by Western astrology. And then here there is a form of divination based on a construction of a horoscope for an exact moment, such as a person's birth. It uses a tropical zodiac, which is aligned to the equinoctial point. I cannot say this, but basically equinoctial point, eclipse. Western astrology is founded on the movements and the relative position of celestial bodies, such as the sun, moon, and planet, which are analyzed by their movement through signs of zodiac and by their aspects, the relationship relative to one another. They are also considered by their placement in houses. So it's a real mouthful. Astrology's modern representation in Western popular media is usually reduced to sun sign astrology, which is considered only the zodiac sign of the sun at an individual's date of birth and represent only 1/12 of the total chart. So it's the two different things when you say astrology. The astrology in a more traditional sense, and astrology just based on the sun sign. That's usually most people think astrology. Oh, where's my sun sign, right? Oh, I'm a Scorpio. Oh, I'm a Gemini. I'm Aries, and just read that, which is like a fraction of your chart. It's not even 1/12. They don't consider any other planets or aspects. So, yes, it's not going to say much about you. So let's say how, as astrologers say, in astrology, certain stars are considered significant. Historically, all of the various heavenly bodies considered by astrologers were considered stars, whether they were stars, planets, other stellar phenomena like novas, supernova, or other solar system phenomena like comets and meteors. So they are all considered as stars. Astrology also treats the sun, a star, and Earth's moon as if they were planets in a horoscope. In traditional astrological nomenclature, the stars were divided into fixed stars and wandering stars. These stars were called fixed because it was thought that they are attached to the firmament. How do you really pronounce? I do not know. Originally, I thought it's a filament. No, it's a firmament. Firmament, thank you. The most distant from the earth of the heavenly spheres. So ancient actually got closer to the modern scientists, though. And I show you a couple of really old, picture. I want you to look at this picture and notice something very interesting. In biblical cosmology, the firmament is a structure above the atmosphere of Earth, conceived as a vast solid dome. According to the Genesis creation narrative. Oh, by the way, there's no Lunetta here. According to the Genesis creation narrative, God created the firmament. I do not like this word, firmament, to separate the water above the earth from the water below the earth. The word is angelicized from the Latin. Say again. Somebody else probably read this better. Latin firmamentum, which appear in Vulgate, a late 4th century Latin translation of the Bible. So I do remember there's a Bible, there's a water as above and below. It's a biblical, interpretation is difficult, but it looks like almost in a beginning of creation there's a water, and below and then above. So here it is: the sun, planets, and angels, and a firmament. So let's look at this one. This is more famous, right? People seen this picture? No? Oh, really? Okay. It's very commonly displayed in many places, like, now you see it, you may notice more. So this is another one, right? The traveler who go beyond the edge of Earth and it peeks through it. And that's another part, the heavenly part. Again, it's another representation of a firmament. It's kind of like so it's semi-solid, the material. It's not like just air after air. So they kind of understand there's a certain structure inside and outside of the earth. So that is the things I want to emphasize. See, this is some kind of wheel on the top. They're all esoteric meaning, which we don't learn in school, but they taught those things in ancient time. All right, so let's try to understand what they are saying about. When we talk about heaven, it's interesting because the Bible really took this heaven to a very different way, right? Heaven was originally those 12 zodiac, those stars. It's a heaven. Not many people talk about, if you notice that. But heaven is somewhere you go after you die, some happy place, right? But that wasn't really the case in a bad sense. Well, actually, it still could be that if you really believe it. But the heaven is in the Bible also. It was more related to cosmology or astrology. Heavenly star is really talking about the star in heaven, the planet and zodiac. If you go back and read the Bible, it makes more sense if you shine a light from that aspect. Anyhow, let's see this here. Which one is your sun sign? This is something everybody knows. We have an actual sign right in the bottom, so you could see Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Well, let's see. What is your sun sign?
Mine?
Yeah. What is it? Virgo. Oh, so
When's your
birthday's coming up.
Event, September 17th.
Oh,
No, my birthday's September 17th.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Same birthday.
What a coincidence.
It never
Oh my mind. Yeah. Thank you. Both of us.
Interesting.
Really
This month I've noticed more than ever so many Virgos.
Yeah,
I don't know
I've met a
why
lot
it
of
is,
them.
but every time I turned around, it was somebody I knew.
September born, right? That's a real coincidence. I've yet to come across that.
And what time were you born?
Actually, my mother is born on September 17th.
Your mom?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
There you go, third person. Can I believe that?
I can believe it. Yeah.
I was born in India. I have two different times, either 2:50 or 2:55 or 3 in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. So what was that?
How close are you to? Well, your chart is going to be very interesting.
2:42 a.m. 12 hours.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe your chart maybe need to put it out by next to next, next. Oh, she has a chart.
Can you give us a quick moment? I just want to go film my.
Okay. Just gonna ask the sun sign. So we got the two Virgo here.
And what is Chonos?
Mine's
Tono was at the end of well, I think it's August, end of the August.
Oh, he's a Virgo too.
Oh
no.
Wait. No, he may be Leo. We gotta check that your birth because somebody said it's a Leo. Let me double check. Let me go back.
Leo finishes August 22nd.
Yeah. I had to go back to the calendar.
April, Taurus.
You're a
I know
Taurus?
that. And I know Dan is Taurus.
Oh, okay.
Rona?
Sagittarius.
Oh,
Mhm.
December. My husband's a Sagittarius. November or December?
Mine's Sagittarius. Mine's the 26th of November.
Jill?
Scorpio.
My sister's.
You Scorpio too?
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Although my chart may indicate sun sign is Scorpio, the chart may indicate otherwise, but I'm sure we'll get into that later.
All right.
Yeah, I
Now,
had
I
texted mine over there to you.
Oh, Dan. Came back. Yes. Yeah, you're Taurus, yes?
Yeah, I texted it to you. And I also texted you could shut your record off. I got record going over here.
Okay, thank you.
Because
Can I end the recording?
You can stop on your side, but leave my side going.
Okay. I'm going to stop then.
That'll
How
save
do
you
you stop?
space. Just
Yes.
just tell it to pause or stop.
Stop recording. Got it. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, and mine's still going. All right, so we're good. All right.
Thank you. So we all know the sun sign. Hopefully Sky, I'm gonna come back. Your sun sign. Your sign means that you are born in that part of a year. I have to go minimize this. When the sun was in a particular sign, as a sign indicates the essence of individuality of inner self. It gives the underlying keynote of our character. Due to the influence of all the other planets, there are infinite variation and combination that are working with the sun energy. So this is why, even though we share the same sign, our attitude, our character, right, tendency is very different. There are 12 signs and at least 10 key planets are in your chart. By knowing your sun sign is a key first step, and just the first step to greater mystery.
Wow. So even though we're the same day, things could be very different.
Very
Yeah.
different.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were born in very different places,
Oh,
right?
that's right, too.
Go ahead, if you need that. So some people taking a picture of the slide. If you need to hold, let me know.
Okay. Mikiko, so what are you, Scorpio or Sagittarius?
I'm on the cusp. 112266.
112.
November 22nd, 1966.
And you said you were when? Mikiko?
Numbers.
Yeah. I know. It's all master number.
Oh, yeah.
3 sets of double
11, 22,
numbers.
16.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
And when
is.
was your birthday, Mikiko?
November 22nd, 1966.
Okay.
You could see my chart as well. It's interesting chart. All right. So we're gonna do a little exercise here. Everybody got reference material, and some might have printed, some may not. So I'm going to share. There is one of the reference talk about astrology sign, and let me see that if I could share that here as well. Oh my God, it becomes smaller when you share screen. There's the folder called Astro Class. Here, there you could see it. Now you have a 12 hours zodiac exercise. So here, astrology exercise. Okay, you have a natal chart. And here's some, cheat sheet here.
Somehow
You
it's
keep
not
going.
up on the share screen.
Oh, sorry. Let me share the screen. Okay, hold on. That's a good point. Where are the Zoom? Zoom, come back. Share.
There.
All right. So I shared the. You want to stop recording? Yes. Okay. So there is a folder I'm sharing. Right. There's several documents. The one of them say astrology exercise in PDF document. Okay, if you could pull that out. And in the beginning of that report is look like this, your birth chart. Okay.
Where are you sharing this at?
Yeah, it's all the linked.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw this.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We could go over it together. So you just need a pen and paper. Okay, we're gonna do this exercise, and if you keep going.
I'm sorry, where are you sharing this from? I don't have this particular thing.
I sent you via email. There's a click here to link to go to the Google folder. You got a one link? Okay, maybe it didn't share the entire. Okay, let me reshare again.
Okay, yeah.
I got 4 sheets. I didn't get this
4
one.
sheets?
Yeah, that's the one that I got.
Okay. I'll fix a glitch. Now, let me fix the glitch right now when we're on it. Okay. So I'm gonna send, anybody have access to the Zoom chat? The people on site one, I will send to email. Let me say Google Drive. Mercy of the connection here. Let's see, Astro Class. Very slow.
Are you sending it to mail or to the Astro Tribes?
No, link. So it's all linked to the Zoom. But what we could do right now is just, oh my God, we are.
Let me say that she said link to Zoom.
No, for the people on the online.
Oh.
Yeah. Astrology. Is it? Yeah, this is online.
Did you get it?
Oh my gosh, not this one.
Oh, that is just what I got.
But it's not what she had up there.
Yeah, that's the link I had.
Really? I don't know why it's only share. Astro. I'm not finding a light folder.
Exercise.
Did you see somewhere?
Yeah, go back to where you just were.
Oh, but it's not the folder, isn't it? I put in a folder
That
everything.
says exercise 1 PDF. That's not what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking for the entire folder so you could access everything else too. Because I put it down. Oh, here, cross search this one. So I need to give the link to this folder.
Yeah, I also got just the 4 sheets, but of course I can't print it out.
Okay, so let me go back to the Zoom.
My husband got this humongous printer It's supposed to be like
And I'm gonna put in the chat.
some kind of, it's supposed to be up to date.
He
just connected everything else. My son's sitting here and saying, Dad, how am I supposed to do my schoolwork? So now I have to go to my neighbor's home and ask her if I can use soap treatment.
No, I can't use a chat either.
It's humongous box. Been sitting for weeks.
Private, everyone. Okay. Hi. Hi. Can anybody get my message?
Maybe no. He has other plans.
No, private. Oh, here. Got it. Okay, here you go. Hi. Can anybody see my hi?
I can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
But in the chat, can you see the chat box? My typing say hi. And I'm sending the folder access right now. You see that? And then the on-site participant, I'm going to send you the email. Diane, Skyer, Lucia. Now the reason I don't want to print out because some of them are pretty big folder access. Okay, so you know, think about it. You want to print the whole thing out or not before.
How many pages?
Some are quite a lot. Let me see, what is this? I have to stop the messenger. Okay, so I'm going to share the worksheet, and this is something we're gonna do very quickly, or you know, you gotta do this, you know, when you have a time because it's very important. Okay.
Which is the worksheet coming from?
It's a PDF Astrology Exercise 1.
Okay.
I got it. It's open. I have it open.
Good. Now, first, you are going to go to your sign. Okay. You got it? Okay. So scroll down to the point when the actual zodiac sign starts, which is Aries. Zodiac sign Aries. Okay. Even though this is not your sign, okay, we're going to go over. And place, if you have a printed out, you're going to put the tick mark on the left. If you don't have a printed out, just simply put the note, right, your notebook, Aries, okay? Whatever you don't agree, like to put the kind of like a mark, like a center, make a 2 column, okay? One on the left, you could say positive, and one on the left is the negative. There's something you like about this sentence, place the mark, and I don't like on the right, okay? So I'm starting with Aries, and you see on the screen, you could read it, and which one you kind of have a warm and fuzzy feeling, which one kind of appall. Like I'm gonna show the example. In your notebook, you put the Aries, okay? I feel no guilt in doing whatever I feel like doing. That's one of the characteristic of Aries. And you feel, oh wow, that's great. And then put on the, you know, the tick mark on the left, the plus sign. And then I don't like those kind of character. I don't like those people. You know, I feel no guilt in doing whatever I feel like doing. Yeah. If you don't like, you make it on the right, tick 1. Okay. And keep going. I don't let relationships and obligation keep me from pursuing my dream and interest.
What if you're midway?
They don't do anything. Don't make any mark. Because this is a very fast thing. So if you're already thinking, that's not good. Okay? Just a very first instinct almost, yes or no. Positive minus. For you, it's very different for you. Okay, just keep going because there's a lot of things going on, right? I can't release my anger without directing it at others. Is it a good personality or not good? So good. Just keep going. If you don't have any feeling at all, go to the next one. Everybody with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for every sign, actually. We go all the 12. We're going to go all the 12 sign. But if you don't have a time, you could start with yours. But because we actually all signs. We need to be all.
Okay. I'm thinking about it, and I know that's not right.
Okay. Can I move the screen down?
Yes.
How we are doing? Because this need to be really fast exercise. It's not something you think. Yes, no, yes.
I can't do it too fast. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. Can somebody? I need to go restroom. Can somebody could be charged of the screen? So if everybody's done, I just simply need to go read it down.
I can do it.
Can you do it? Okay. Yeah. I'll be right back.
How do I do it?
Well,
I'm not too good with these things.
Just kind of move this one here like this. So to go down. Okay, here you go. Now you're back.
Oh. I don't know where I am.
I don't volunteer.
Let's see. I like I have a mouse attached to mine, so that's what I do. Oh, you're back. Oh, okay. Can I go down, guys?
Yeah.
How do I do? Okay, I volunteer, but I'm getting stuck now. Because I'm used to. Sorry, I'm used to a mouse, and I'm like.
I know. Not many people like this. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. All right. Here you go. Let's finish the Aryan.
Go up one more, a little bit on Aries. I can come a bit more. Okay, yeah. I finished up whatever. Is this what you sent us, Nikki?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, you got it.
You tried, but you didn't.
So that, let's see, Aries. I think Libra is the next. We're gonna go Aries and then go to the Libra after this. We're gonna do opposite sign, and then we may not have a time to do all of it, but I will ask you to finish this tonight. Okay? Are we good for Aries?
Yes.
Okay. So you're gonna do the opposite sign, which is Libra. Okay. There you go. And please write it down which sign you're doing. So Libra, Aries, Libra, and you're gonna do next a Taurus.
So the left
Scorpio.
of the column is whether I vibe with it or not. A plus means you vibe with it, a minus means you don't.
You don't.
Okay.
It's not the test. Just to be very honest, and the very first things come up. You could say, this is me, right? This is very much me and very much alignment in me. And if you like it, plus.
Wow.
Good.
Lots of plus column.
Okay, all right. So kind of mentally note how much plus you have here versus Aries, right? And then let me know if I could go a little down.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready to go down.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. So the last one, I don't get caught up in thinking, right? It's not fair.
I can't get him anything but the one I need to come up. Nothing. I can't deal with it.
You can't. I
Don't worry about
couldn't hear you.
slow. And I can't get the one that you're using to come up. Because I had to move it. Never mind.
Oh, you mean a phone?
Yeah, he's trying to find. She's trying to find it on the phone.
Oh. I mean, in a Zoom chat, did you see the link?
I got that. To annotate, I can't annotate on the computer. I'm trying to put it on the iPad, and I can get everything but the one you're using to come up. All the others, sorry. It's just, don't worry about me. I'm trying.
Oh, okay.
I didn't get this beforehand, or I would have had everything prepared and printed out and ready to go. So I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry. It's gonna be the exercise for tonight. So, and just you don't really need to have it if you, as long as you see it. The whole exercise here to kind of understand who you are.
I understand who I am. Screwed up.
But aren't we inherently being judgmental?
Really?
By saying something is right and something is not right?
That's probably your tendency.
Is this the last? I am instinctively diplomatic.
Let me see. Yes,
Yeah,
that's the last. Okay, now we're gonna, is everybody good though?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good with
Okay,
this.
now we're gonna go back to Taurus. There's a reason why we're doing this. We're gonna Taurus, okay?
I always take my time.
Is that first one actually a thing? Deep voice change if you get stuck.
Oh, that just, yeah, it's like, no, ignore that one. But it's a characteristic. In general, the people who are Taurus, especially Venus is in a sign, in the same house, have a deep voice. And it could, like a Dan has a very, very signified Taurus. He has a really deep voice. I won't be surprised. Maybe his Venus is in a Taurus sign as well, or moon. So a lot of the people in Taurus, they usually get stuck. They have to use their voice to unstuck. A lot of amazing opera singer are the Taurus. And also Taurus is a feminine sign as well. Let me know when you get to the bottom. I do not need other people.
I'm on the next page.
Okay, you're on the next page? Okay, how about you all?
Not quite. I'm almost there.
Okay.
The opposite sign is.
Oh,
yes.
just go this way.
Oh, it's on
On the opposite circle, yeah.
in the chart that you sent us?
Oh, the opposite quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's not it's a well designed. Yeah, and the opposite. I will explain that too. I do not need other people around to be happy. That was the last one. So it is easy for me to give to myself. It's very important. I love money. I really love having money.
Comes back to a manifestation, right?
Well, this is something that, you know, resonate well or not. So
it's good to have a big connection.
And some people read it with a big smile, right? Some people kind of frown upon. So that's like, you know, that's a very good moment to say plus minus. What is it?
They do not like to move.
So
I'll agree.
I do not. Yeah.
I don't like to move. It wasn't fun.
So there's another sign that don't like to move at all. It's probably worse than Taurus, which is a Cancer.
Really?
Yeah, they tend to have get heavy, and you know, tendency to get chronic illnesses because of that. But that's a stereotypical, you know, view of if the sun sign is very strong, you know, prominent in that, you know, being chart. Yeah. But again, this is you know, only a portion of it. Everybody's good.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go opposite sign, which is a Scorpio. What? That's a Sagittarius. Okay. Ah! Here you go. I'm not afraid of the dark. This is a very stereotypical Scorpio. If you see it in a stadium, freezing cold, watching a game with a t-shirts, almost all the time that's a Scorpio. A Scorpion guy. Oh, I'm not cold.
Oh, it is so funny.
Let me know when you guys done with a transformed place. I have a powerful ability to help others to transform themselves. So Scorpio is a deep and a healer sign. So if you are born in a Scorpio, you are likely a shaman in the previous life, and who are very just a healer itself. You don't need any training. That's a Scorpio sign.
What is if a moon sign is in Scorpio?
Probably in a verdict that's important, but it's this is emotional need. The moon is what you need, emotional need. So your need is deep and penetrating, because that's a Scorpio sign. Your emotion run very deep, very powerful. Probably most people don't understand why you became so emotional sometimes. But a lot of time it's hidden too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the difference, sun versus moon in a Western astrology. That's how you read.
I'm done with that, but
okay. Everybody else? Yeah? Okay. No, you could definitely come back and do it yourself again.
Right.
So don't.
right, I
worry.
will.
All right. So where did it go? Have a transform. Wait. What did I do? Where was the last one? Oh, here. Transform darkness. And my power is guided by my love. My power is guided by my love. I am in control of my vengeful nature. I return love in the face of betrayal. So this is a very Scorpion, right? You know, it's very much. This is the only sign that the 3 different images attached to it. So they could really go. They really, you know, the sting, the Scorpio, is so strong that they could kill themselves with their own revenge. But then by killing the itself, resurrect, transform itself. So very intense. Okay, when you're near Scorpio people, very, very intense. All right. So here you are. Now you completed 4 out of 12. I want you to continue to do this exercise with all the signs with this seats. And I want you to kind of report me back at the results. Okay. So what it's going to look like, you have all the signs. There's some tendency for this side and some this. I want you to kind of look at this chart and tell me what you see. I have a lot of plus in Aries, and I don't have I have a lot of minus in Aquarius, something like that. You know, or I have this sign more favorable, right? But those didn't resonate well with me. Something like that. Try to identify the pattern, and that is tonight's assignment.
If a Taurus, I'm sitting on the fence quite a bit. I mean, a year.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I'm trying to find this. Yeah, I can find it.
Oh, can't find it? Okay, maybe Joe is right then.
Jill was having problems.
Okay. Let me see, maybe this.
She could do a regular email. That's what, right?
Here's the astrology exercise in this folder. I gave you access to this folder. So that's where this is. So you definitely do have one.
It's in there. I just couldn't get it at my end.
This one.
That's my
That's
there.
It's at 224 page, I guess.
Oh, to go down.
Yeah, go down to.
200. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Okay, so I know it's this one. Okay.
Well, don't print it out.
Yeah, not to my boss.
No, don't print. I don't know why I did that. Sorry, I think I may give you the whole thing. But it's better a little, right?
I copied and pasted it and sent it to my email, and that's how I opened it.
Oh, okay.
And I opened it on my phone while I was on the iPad.
Hey, if you have a problem, okay, if you have a problem, let me know.
You know when you have the force.
I will send you just a separate file so that's easier to handle.
Yeah, this, right?
So you click on this one and then you have to scroll down to the
down. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, so it's a technical thing. Where am I? I don't see the Zoom. Back to the meeting. Okay, here you go. Excellent. All right, so that's one thing that I really want you to do. And what happened to my slide? Did I close it?
Yeah.
Let me get back. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me find it. I was really hoping this internet is still working. It's still working. It's great. Do you see my slide or no?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't.
No, I don't.
Okay, here. All right. I'm very sensitive to time today. So if you could give me a 10 minutes warning before, it would be great. All right, so let's see. I really want to go through the sign So this is your homework, because you can, I want to go, you know, I want to go forward with it. So write down what you learned about self. Okay. So we're going to, as you go through this exercise, honestly, not because you're supposed to be this way, because if you pretend you, right, within you, it's just difficult to go through this exercise. Because your ego is very, very smart. You know, if you don't acknowledge your ego, they get really tricky.
Yeah.
And at some point, they're going to come back and bite you, have no idea where they're coming from. Yeah. So
The ego can be really funny. That's not true.
You know, there's a lot of people in the brain, right? Like inside out. They didn't have an ego, I don't think. Inside out.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Where's the
it's
ego?
a huge part of us,
Right? Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you need to go through 13 or something.
Yeah. She hadn't reached that level yet.
All right. Yeah.
In Inside Out, all the cars when they were escaping were numbered 17, except for the one they were in, and that was 13. I'll say more later.
Yeah. Hopefully the next one gonna come soon. So hey, this is the things, you know, you could just generally report back to whatever you want to report back to me or to the class. That's fine, because you have a chat room on a Facebook I created. I invited you all, so that's where you're going to share. Now, if you don't want to share, just brutally be honest, just to check yourself, right? Oh my God, I don't like this character, it's sad, right? And just circle it. Right? And don't share to anyone, but just share to yourself. Okay, those are things I don't like. And then without judgment, think through why you don't like those characters. You will learn a lot about yourself, a lot, and meditate on it.
Can I don't mean to jump ahead. That's what I was saying about being judgmental. I was talking about myself. It's not a reflection of anyone else. Like Aries, I found a lot of things very selfish and self-centered. Right? Am I being judgmental there?
Yes.
I think they should be a certain way, right? That's what I just wanted you know, to talk through it.
Yes. So let's talk about that. So self-centered itself is not judgmental, but I read your energy and I say yes. Nothing wrong with self-centered, because we are all star, we are all sun. If the sun is not self-centered, the solar system is not really good. Yeah. So self-centered itself is not a bad thing, but the way you approach, I know there's a vibe with the self-centered, right? Vibration and your facial expression, right? Very concerned. You're adding a negative value to it. So you're already judging that. That's why I said yes.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
It's not the subject. There's nothing bad in this realm, in a universe created.
Yes.
Yeah. Even if one of the worst thing you ever seen, because how we judge, how we put our emotion. Remember the core memory, the core personality, inside out. We do have a particular memory and in programming ingrained into us since birth. That's how we see things.
So when you talk about programming, you're talking about the 3D matrix?
Everything. It's all the same for us. Either your parents tell you or your matrix tells you. For you the self doesn't have any discrimination, because your attitude and attachment is generated from that. If you very beginning from the baby, if you talk to your baby, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, oh, you are so self-centered, and without any tonality attached to it, okay? Because usually kids learn from the energy you're projecting toward, not the word. If the parents continuously praise you with self-centeredness, oh, very good, you're very self-centered today, and then give you a cookie each time, you will never have a bad association with the self-centered.
Yeah.
Right? The word itself has a good and a bad meaning. The meaning we give, experience we attach.
Yeah.
That's how the one thing become one way or the other. This is why this exercise is crucial. To brutally honest to yourself, what do you don't like? What do you like? Focus on you don't like the bringing closer. And the same thing, focus on what you like, bringing closer, why you like it. Same way. And you're gonna learn so much about yourself. And a lot of time, we don't say certain things in the public. That's what the ego is working. Yeah, you need to bring your ego very closer and protect the ego. It's okay. You've been protecting, but because if you don't, cuddle with the ego, if you ignore ego, they become very tricky kid. Not really good. You're very hindrance of your healing.
That was interesting about my mom is when she had that stroke, she lost that ability to censor herself. So whatever she was thinking,
come out.
Oh yeah.
I'm so fat.
Part
It was
of her
like,
dementia.
oh my god, it was like we were dying of embarrassment. She's like, how is that man so fat? Oh god.
My mom bumped into my girlfriend's sister at the store. She looks at her, she's like, why you got fat? My girlfriend called me up, she's like, you're not gonna believe what your mother said to my sister. Well, I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes. So sometime, and the more you do this self-exercise, you started to admire the people who we used to think it crazy, how embarrassing. You start to, I start to admire those people. Because if I were that, I probably not need to facing this healing right now.
Yeah.
Like a Tono, right? He come to the very, like an angelic face and then go back and he lick his stuff and it's, oh, please don't do that, Tono. But no, you can't say that. That's him. Look if we do it in the public, right?
And it kisses you.
Then it kisses back to you. No, but yeah, exactly. But if we honestly could do it in the public, the half or more of the issue we're facing won't be here. Really. Too bad we can do it. You can pee around the pool. If I don't like this stuff and then pee on it.
You ever see a dog going to the bathroom in public and you're driving in a car, he's like worried. Like, why is everybody looking
at me? Yes, I do see it too. Yes. Even the dog doesn't like that to be. His cat is more sensitive, I noticed. Yeah. But we all like to watch somebody going a number two. Are we all? I mean, amazingly, embarrassingly, everybody watch it. When dog or cat pooping it, everybody come and watch it.
In my community, if a dog's doing his business, everybody turns around.
And look.
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to stare, but they're like, it gets their attention.
Yes, that is true.
I've seen this.
It is so funny. We are very, not that advanced as we think, It's also important to laugh about it too. Don't take those things too seriously. Yeah. Obviously important, but not too seriously. So I also provided you beautiful, beautiful zodiac poster coming from Astrograph. I'm sure the copyright all over, but hey, we are personally sharing. I'm not charging you. I'm honoring a credit here. It's so beautiful. Now, I don't necessarily agree every single things or each things I take it out, but there's much truth to it, and it's a learning tool. As long as you know it, and this supplemental zodiac poster is beautiful because not only the summary of each sign, but there's an element. It's a fire or cardinal, the other nuggets that we're going to learn later. It's all in one poster. So you have a 12 and a plus. The poster right in front. The only reason I give you a soft copy because I can't really waste my color copier because it's mostly black in the background. It's beautiful, but so it's a pretty to look at it. Maybe some of you are creative to print out in a more, you know, effective way. But I just wanted to share that. So let's talk about the symbol. Can folks online see it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So, you know, those are the ancients, the way they draw the symbol, right? I think it looks like it's a Greek. I'm not positive. So let's learn about them. Okay. So I kind of want you to bring the note, you know, empty page, you know, blank, and then start drawing each symbol to get used to it, starting with the Aries, okay? And I will add more meaning as you deepen understanding of the zodiac sign. But in the beginning, I just kind of want you to go through it, and I will add a little bit more color to it. I want to go next one, okay? So Aries is, to me, is a couple of different things. The whales, you know, the water. I mean, I can't help looking at it. To me, it's a uterus. To me, it's a woman's uterus. To me, the Aries, very much so. Yeah, and Aries is a sign of so-called before the germination. So woman's kind of like, you know, everything gonna come out. So that's the Aries sign, and clearly this is supposedly a ram, right? Those rams on the home, but they come with many different meaning. Aries is the first sign that comes from the sun comes out from the ocean. So very much so that when sun penetrates the horizon, that's how the Asian thought. That's everything going to germinate it. So that's what the Gemini, the germination Gemini is come next. When Aries, the sun penetrate from sea, ocean, which is Mary. It's marine, Mary is the same word. Anybody stuff of Mary, Mary is the ocean coming through. That's the first sign of a spring as well. Okay, so that's Aries.
So you mean to say it's the first sign when the sun rises?
Mm-hmm. You're gonna learn more. But every ancient, you know, all the ancient teaching, Aries is the first sign. That's when the sun penetrates the horizon of the ocean. Aries is always the eastern horizon for the ancients, and that's Aries is the sign of fixed star, always there behind the sun. Well, that's how the Aries is first, always first sign. Okay, now it's going to the Taurus. Taurus comes after Aries. That's also my favorite sign because you kind of look like a Taurus, the face of the ball, but actually Taurus is a very feminine sign. So you have like a kind of strange curve, but usually Taurus is a circle and then just a cup, half circle. That's a Taurus, okay? And the third one is Gemini. Gemini is a twin. That's why the two pillars. You see the two pillars? It's actually pillars. And there's a story to it because the sun comes from the ocean in Aries. Here's a Taurus, and the sun gonna go through this pillars. This is Gemini, the twin sign, the two. And then station at the Cancer. Cancer is obviously those Cancer that you know the creature that only go side to side and never go forward. Crab, yes. Oh, I'm sorry, that means a crab. But also it looked like a woman's breast. Okay, both fine because Cancer is a very nurturing sign, very feminine sign, with the sun stationed in a summer solstice, where the sun doesn't move for 3 days either. Each solstice, each point of the quadrant, the sun does not move for 3 days. That's the ancient thought of Cancer, because Cancer doesn't move forward, back and forth. That's where the sun stays, back and forth.
So is Gemini of feminine or masculine?
Actually, Gemini doesn't have a gender. Aries is masculine, like you say, like everything starts like fire. All right. And Cancer is also a water sign, if you want to add to that. Leo. Leo is next sign, and it's a very strong sign. And that is the house of sun, and it signifies the heart. Right?
It's the house of who?
House for sun. The traditional house for sun.
Oh.
Yeah.
S-U?
S-U-N. S-U-N. Sun. Our sun. Not S-O-N. S-U-N.
Should it signifies what?
Did I say signify something?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring
Oh, heart. Heart.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry. So next 3 sign was before, long time ago. There was a 3 virgin. Okay, but no longer virgin, except the Virgo. So 3 lady long time ago, but something, this domination and control came and things changed. So the only one left is a Virgo. So Virgo, you see the Scorpio is an M, and Virgo is also look like an M, and toward the end it's kind of tied up. Tied up meaning it's a virgin. You're not open, right? So that's why the Virgo look like that. So let's talk about the Scorpio. Scorpio is have an arrow. That's abbreviation, but the arrow, the sting, right? Arrow to it. So that's virgin became revenge, right? Kind of almost, because how dare you done this to me? That was kind of Scorpion revenge. Now the Libra in the center of a Virgo and a Scorpio, if you see the Libra, the Aries the time the sun comes out, Libra is a sun set. Yes. Look at the Libra sign. Look like a sun setting on the ocean, yeah? That's how the Aries comes up and is set in the Libra. So after the Libra, going underworld. Underworld of Scorpio is the first sign. Right? And Sagittarius. Sagittarius is half horse, half man, and always have this archery. Right? So that's archery.
Do you say half men and half
horse?
They have that in some of the movies that Pranav has watched.
A
lot of movies.
Yeah, there are many of them. We're gonna talk about that a little bit in the mythology. Capricorn is a very interesting one. I'm gonna touch up on more about this sign, but it actually the combination of the Leo and Aries. And abbreviation doesn't make it look like that, but I will show you the ancient way to draw the symbol. So this is a quick overview, and then I'm gonna go a little bit more. But just in case we are short on time, just we went through all those. Aquarius is the sign of the man, which you don't see the man here. Usually a man pouring the bars of the water downward. Aquarius, the water sign. I'm sorry, not the water, actually. It's air sign. And the Pisces is a 2 fish, 1 dead and 1 alive. And we're gonna go through that a little bit more. And I'm gonna go through more deeper, but I'm gonna go to the planet. Okay, we're gonna come back to it, but I want you to kind of familiarize with some abstract form first. Now we're gonna go to the planet and luminary, which is a star. We're gonna talk about planet. We're gonna go over all those different planets. Let's check that. It's 3:30. Still have a time, right? Lucia, when do you have to go?
Like 4:40.
Oh, really? Could it be that late?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't worry. We will try to finish them by 4:30. So those are planets. Each planet has a function. For instance, the moon indicates your emotions. Mars is your energy. So we have 7 personal stars, planets, and then 3 outer planets. Okay, and then I have Earth on the bottom left. So the upper 7 stars, planets, are personal planets, okay? And the bottom 3 are outer planets. Sure, let me know when you're done taking picture.
Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Came out okay? Okay. So we're gonna go over one at a time. Sun, my favorite. Okay, circle, boundless, eternal, infinite, right? And some of the ancient depicted this circle, often mirrored with Ouroboros or Ouroboros. This is an ancient symbol depicting a serpent or dragon eating its own tail. It is a symbol for death and rebirth, renewal of life, and also a symbol for the cosmos or endless cycle in the universe. The source is listed there. And you see the ancient Egyptian tomb. You have this circle on the head and then also in the feet. Moon, often depicted as a crescent. This is the personality. Some of them are going to be abbreviated to the half circle, but it's the same thing, okay? So crescent or half circle. This is called outer aspect of a being. Also mean receptivity. In a natal chart, the position of the moon by sign, which is Skanya asked earlier, show how we emote and respond to our environment, as well as our instinctual habit, especially in our homes and in private. By house, the moon's position shows which area of life we feel the most at home or comfortable. Okay, that's a one way to read your moon. That's a one way. It's a tons more meaning. That's moon's position and what the sign is, a very important and telltale sign. Okay. Let's talk about the cross. Those are 3 basic components of the planet: circle, crescent, or half circle, and then cross. Okay, those are repeated themes, the building block. So I want you to really understand cross, meaning earth living. Okay. Now, there's a lot of different teaching here based on which teacher was astrologer from which period. Some is more darker thinking, some more uplifting. But people tend to be darker side in the ancient time. Cross symbolizes earth living, also matter or materialism at some extent. The way the symbol coming from, the one theory was a downpouring spirit, okay, penetrating a horizontal plane of matter, piercing through. Also, cross means many different things and used for many different purposes. Some culture, crosses mean victory, right? Some culture, cross means some religious, significance. So cross means a lot of things. One way is to find your true meaning is to meditate on it or find the best answer by browsing the net or discuss with other astral tribes. There's the thing say, I'm not sure I cover here, it was a solar planet. That's why Earth has a cross in the middle, which I could go over that in a bit. So there's a many different meaning.
What kind of planet is it?
Sorrow, yeah. So here, wait, did I skip sun? I'm gonna go there in the next, after sun. Circle and a dot in the center. The circle represents the eternal self. The dot represents the divine spark. How beautiful.
Yeah.
In a personal chart, the sun represents a basic drive for significance. If your sun is in a strong place, you have a lot. So sun's position is very important. It's not only to where in the house, but also comfortable place for the sun or not, right? So if you remember Donald Trump, and then both Marilyn Monroe had a sun in a position of house 10. House 10 is a career and fame. That's where they have a sun in, right?
Mikiko, is this part of the slides you sent?
No, I'm not sending you the slide.
Oh, okay. Then we need to.
I notice people don't necessarily appreciate the slide sharing. There's too much megabytes. I got to complain before. Let me know if you're okay. Yeah, let me know if you're good.
I'm good.
I'm good. Reiki was really
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Really helps.
Earth.
Means strong.
Cross inside a circle, which is our planet Earth. Idea of a planet of the sorrowful star. A lot of people say about Earth, prism planet, right? Prism planet or a sorrowful star. Some spiritual teaching mentions about our planets being a sorrow planet or fallen. It's a land of a fallen angel, right? In this belief system, the cross signifies the human going against his or her divinity's self. Okay, that's the one teaching. When humanity as a collective become one with God, Earth we are sent to be and becoming closer to sun or star. So each planet is ascending too. Like I said, the planet, more we think the planet as a being, a person, personify it, far easier for you to understand the astrology. Like Earth, we call affectionately sometimes Mother Earth Gaia, right? Like female, goddess. Same thing, each planet is same role. They all wants to ascend. And we are connected, the solar system is all one. So if the one delay, we all affected. Right now, the Earth has the most power to ascend. If the Earth ascend, every single planet in the solar system will ascend together.
Yeah, wow,
yes.
It's that powerful,
yes,
right?
This is how powerful the Earth is. This is a lot of pressure on a surface being right here on Earth. All right. Now, I do not agree with the sorrow planet theory, but it's important to understand how people think. Because until we totally understand and honor their belief system, we really can't overcome or challenge or bring it into the appreciation as a whole. Moon, it's a half circle or crescent, symbol of a personality. It shines by the reflected ray of the sun. The moon doesn't have its own light, right? It's always a reflection of the sun. That's how they gain energy. The personality should act as a reflector of our true self. So this is very important. The moon reflects the sun. Our personality should be reflecting our core essence. Moon shifts its shape daily as our emotions change each moment. Moon also represents female mass consciousness and habit patterns of the past. But where is your moon in your chart? Mark that it's a very important. Where is moon in your chart? Let me see.
It looks like at the bottom of the page, right?
So your moon is right here. So 28 degrees right here. So your moon is in a Libra, the house 4. So I could tell that to you, home is very important. Very important. So, and that's where your emotion is. And then the sign is in a Libra, and toward the end of Libra. So that means you need to think about Libra and what is the next sign? The Scorpio. Scorpio, right? So those two signs. That's.
And I got a lot of pluses on
that. Oh, yeah, you go. Yeah. Well, you're emotionally resonating with those signs, and that's also impact to how the people and a home as well. Okay.
How would I read?
So, yeah. Go ahead.
Like my moon is in house 10 and in Aquarius, towards the start of both of them, more so in house 10 than Aquarius.
So your moon is in the house 10?
Uh-huh.
And then that's good. And then what sign? Which sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
No.
Oh, okay. So I've seen this. I mean, without seeing the entire chart, usually that means your fame or your career likely be artistic expression. If he does, it's better off. Like Michael Jackson has a moon in a 10th house, and he really shines through that. But usually tend to be very artistic. Reflect upon a mass consciousness, your work, especially your Aquarius. And but sometimes, often the people in Aquarius in the 10th house, unless you become super spiritual or super religious, it become abstract. So you will need to kind of watch out the people with you or not often, because they tend to be off earth, up there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I'm just only reading component.
Yeah, that's just that.
So that's not, yeah, that's not really good. But just to giving you an idea.
Yeah, it reinforces something else on the chart. So that's interesting.
Okay. I take that it's better sign.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mercury. So let's look at that. They got everything: circle, half circle, and then cross, right? So Earth plus circle plus crescent on the top. So circle spirit rises above earthy manifestations, personality on top of spirit, indicating the uplifted being. Mercury is a sign of intellect, messenger of God. You remember that Mercury is the closest to what? The sun, right? See, everything is connected. So Mercury also orbit around the sun faster than Earth. With a link between heaven and earth. So you have to almost understand astronomy well to understand astrology, because it's all connected. Venus is the important one. Circle is sitting on cross. I really want you to really remember how significant spirit overcoming matter through love. A symbol sometimes compared to the mirror base on the mythology of Aphrodite. Remember Aphrodite spawned from the ocean, and she always see that everybody is a reflection of herself. The mirror everywhere. In a personal chart, Venus represents social urge, affection, beauty, value, art, and attraction. So let's say that the Venus house is house 2 and a Taurus. If the sun sign of Taurus, the Venus is with it, almost likely this person will so do well. Beautiful, beautiful voice, and the eye is like really magnetizing, right? And a lot of opera singer is in this category. Now I want you to remember this symbol very well. Circle, the spirit overcoming a matter. Look at this Mars. This Mars symbol, now you know it's changed. Ancient was the opposite of Venus, held down by cross matter, indicating that Mars has not yet redeemed by the inner self. That's
Is it like a repressed energy?
Yes. But look, has it recently changed?
Yeah.
I think this is very on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient symbol of the Mars is the opposite of Venus. And the modern symbol is replacing a cross with arrow. Mars is a possible outgoing masculine energy. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because Mars often corresponds to masculine energy and Venus often corresponds to feminine energy. And the ancient thought, female energy, feminine energy is always more spiritual, spiritually evolved. And somebody changed. You could hardly see the symbol anymore. Almost everything replaced with on the right. Okay, so always going on the right. It's almost completely erased. The energy tends to scatter matter and express outwardly. Energy of vitality. Also, it's mean anima, energy of anima, like animalistic energy. So where's your Mars is important because that's where is the vitality. If the Mars is strong, you will be healthy, even if some other things goes wrong. The Mars will rescue.
I think Mars is in
one near the ascendant.
House 1.
Oh, okay, so you remember the trumps? Was right above it too. So that's it's a significant how you start life, how you start everything. You have a lot of will. Yeah, you kickstart everything. Oftentimes you may not think through it, but you will do it. You will start. All right. Saturn, crossover crescent. You look at the ancient symbol, it's much easier to understand that right is a modern symbol. It's more stylish Saturn. So let's look at the ancient symbol. Personality held down by cross. Personality held down by a cross. Saturn is the oldest angel and given the rulership of the earth. It's very important. Rulership of the earth. This is why the verdict, Hindu, always start with Saturn.
Yes.
Because they know how important Saturn's influence on your life, not earthly living.
It's given a lot of.
Yes. Sometimes, I tend to think that maybe overemphasized by some astrologer, but if you grew up in a culture, you feel very true. Because they really believe, many of them believe, karma, right? In the past lives. That Saturn become like very important planet. So again, the Saturn is the Lord of karma. It also indicates time, because that's what, as long as we live here, we are really kind of sometimes slave to time. Saturn also represents a contraction, rules, organization, structure, hierarchy, all that. As you can see, there's another ancient representation of how Saturn sits. The bottom, I'm talking about this picture and image on the right, bottom right. You see that pyramid look like things, and the bottom is a zodiac sign, the 12 sign, and in the center there is a sun and a moon, the core. All the way top is who? Saturn. How the Saturn ruling all the planet, and then also the couple of the end to end of zodiac, which is Capricorn and Aquarius. All right, so that's a Saturn. I love Jupiter. Personality is risen above matter. So Saturn was the opposite, right? It held down the personality. Jupiter is holding up. Rulership over the super conscious self. So Jupiter represents expansion, super consciousness, religion, inspiration, and aspiration. So right now, Jupiter is traveling a sign of Scorpio to everybody's chart. Where is your Jupiter in your chart? Which house that is? Where is your Jupiter in your chart? Which house? 12? So that now you're expanding your spirituality. Which sign? The zodiac sign. Cancer. Okay. So you will be mostly doing intuitively. You need to, you will do intuitive expansion. So you are psychic, intuitive from the heart.
Can I interrupt you 1 quick second? She said Jupiter's in here is in a 12th house. And how does Cancer, and Cancer is the
inside a yarrow.
Cancer is the root, is in charge of that particular house.
So that's how you're going to experience that particular area of the life. Yeah, we're going to cover that.
Okay.
We're going to cover
I
that.
just saying how to connect.
I know. No, you are stepping ahead. It's just fine. It's just fine because you took this, before. So
that's an interesting sign.
Uranus, yes. You could say different way. I like to call Uranus. The sun is pushing up the two moons, one human and one divine together with mother. Symbol of the higher vibration, center of Uranus is packed with electricity. Symbol of sun behind the sun, ruler of heaven. So Saturn was the ruler of earth. Uranus is the ruler of heaven. Sure, this is something that native Indian knew, even though they shouldn't be able to see Uranus. Uranus is the only way to see the modern technology, but they talking about Uranus all the time. They said there's a hole in the sun because they knew there's a sun behind the sun, which they're talking about Uranus.
There's a hole in the sun.
Yeah. Yeah, sun behind the sun. They knew.
What does it mean, Makiko?
That means Uranus. There's another bigger sun. So sun is our basically rulership, right? To us, ruling planet. But there's a much bigger planet behind the sun. That was Uranus. They knew what control heaven. Well, that's what it is. That's what they're teaching. Obviously, we don't know that anymore. Very few native Indian knows. Neptune.
The trident.
Trident, yeah. Piercing a couple personality to set it free to manifest unconditional love. So New Age love Neptune. They talk about Neptune a lot. Neptune is also tricky though. Neptune is keyword serve or suffer. So that's more traditional interpretation. Somebody laughing, yeah, serve or suffer. So look at the ways of Neptune in your chart. This is a tricky one. What is Cobain? Something Cobain? Yes, he's a single-handedly a heavy user of Neptune, right? I won't surprise his Neptune was prominent, perhaps house 10 or something. Neptune's vibration in off-earth tones. So Neptune vibrate very high. You will never feel like you are here on Earth. It's cause issue too. If you're not in a center, mysterious, dreamy, and even psychic. When unbalanced, it can manifest as addiction, unrealistic thinking, elusive, usually like drugs, alcohol involved. If well placed, a being has a gift in poem, art, compassion, love without a condition. So if I look at the Neptune in the house 10 in a man, I will just have to take a deep breath in and exhale before I go into think anything else. I'm just hoping other planet is, well balanced for this being. If it's a Neptune is in, let's say, house 12 and in female with the moon, I'm hoping this is the artist and married with a rich person, so don't need to worry about, reality, right? Facing her. And it will be very happy life. The Neptune is great, but tricky. Because take you, completely off world.
So you mean to say they can be an imaginary?
Yeah, it can be. But it's a higher expression of love, higher octave of Venus. Eventually we're all going to become Neptune, type of thinking. but it's, that as long as on the Earth, we have a certain thing we need to accomplish with Neptune. Yeah. So Neptune's a little tricky. Pluto. So the left one is often used, but the right one is a more correct way to just,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Because I can't hear them.
I think they froze.
So Jill.
Yeah.
Are the houses, the inside, those little circles, it's like 10, 11, 9, 8? Is that what those are?
Yeah, that's correct. On the inside.
And then you look and see, my Neptune was in kinship or something like that.
Which
universal kinship. The Neptune.
Which house was that in?
I think it was Neptune. It was in house 11.
That sounds about right. I don't have that chart handy. Mine was in 7, which I can't remember what it means right now.
Well, I saw this little thing and it says partnership. I don't know.
I think that sounds right.
It's like generic. I don't know where. I haven't seen my Pluto one yet.
7th house is partnership. And
oh, there's Pluto.
Yeah, my Pluto's down in house 5.
Okay. Mine's in 9. I don't know what that means, but whatever.
9 is our view of the universe. Says you can't stand religious hypocrisy. Can you not stand religious hypocrisy?
No, I cannot stand it. That's funny.
It's amazing how accurate some of this is.
Yeah. I've never taken an astrology course, so all this is new to me.
I haven't either, but I've just run into it being so amazingly accurate, it's spooky.
Yeah. I just want to know how to get over blocks.
4-wheel drive?
Yeah, really. I got 4-wheel drive. I wonder if they know we're not there.
I don't know. I just sent them another note on Messenger to see if they... I've sent it by chat and I've sent it by Messenger.
Yeah, I see that. Wonder if we have to sign. You think if we sign back in?
I don't know. Dan is still signed.
Yeah, no, we're still here and it's still recording, so the signal is still good. It must be something on her end. She might have to reboot or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can call her if we need to.
Yeah, I thought I'd just text her phone. She probably already knows, but
text her.
I just have to find the last time I texted her. Yeah. And the internet's been wonky for a while.
Generally, or on their end?
All over. Yeah, the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty weird. And then the Facebook hack yesterday kind of set everything back. And then everything's been weird really the past couple of days. So I think they were practicing on little stupid places and then hit Facebook.
Yeah, probably.
Which was a pretty big hit, actually.
Shame they have so much time on their hands to do that stuff.
Well, yeah, well, yes. Or have the money or the technology to even argue, send a digital argument to one of the most, advanced programs that we have. Facebook's pretty advanced. Their system's so advanced that their own computers created its own language and started talking to one another. And they talked to one another for like a couple of minutes before they shut it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that the Facebook computers, the algorithms all kind of like came together and created a consciousness. They started their own language and started talking to one another.
Oh,
how cool.
Yeah,
kind of insane.
So the AI, the AI took off, so to speak. But they caught it, they shut it down, but it started causing a whole lot of questions, How strong is AI that it can, it wants to manifest so strongly that it's using, the equipment that's already here to do it. So it's something going on in the realm,
I find it very interesting.
It is very interesting, and I heard about it, but I didn't know much about it until I went to the channel panel event last December, and one of the guys, he wasn't a Facebook employee, but he was a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend sort of thing, he said. But he had some details that were just amazing. And so he talked about it. He was talking to Bashar about it. And so Bashar was able to chime in from that perspective about, what was going on. Because Bashar addresses a lot of AI kind of things, because some of their collective is digital.
Uh-huh.
Or what we might consider digital. I don't know if it's like digital exactly per se with like electricity, but some kind of power source, whatever digital, their version of digital, which is another topic altogether, which is pretty mind-boggling, that there's different kinds of power sources, not just like electricity. So,
sure.
And so that was all really, really interesting. That she's not responded by phone. If they've experienced a power outage or something.
Oh, yeah.
She's not responding at all. She hasn't responded to Messenger. She's not responded to phone text. She's not responded. Now, granted, if she's in, when something goes crazy, you instantly go into like manager mode and trying to put all the fires out. She's trying to get everything rebooted and restarted and everything. But it's neat. I don't have Diane's number either, so it's not like I can text Diane and ask, hey, what's the status there? Because you all fell off.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Oh, I don't know if I have.
And so if they were on her Wi-Fi, and that's another thing, did they overdo the Wi-Fi? I don't know. I wonder if I should just pause the recording until they get back. Let me hit pause.